As you all are working on Essay 2, I wanted to provide some more assistance. So the main goal of this is to write an argument essay where you answer this question and support your argument. So how does suffering impact happiness, or what is the relationship between suffering and happiness? That's the question you need to answer. The way that we'll build the paper is you'll have this thesis that states your argument, and then you'll use support from both articles as well as your personal observations to build your point. We're going to use third person in this paper. Unless you're telling a personal story, keep it to third person. He, she, it, they, a little bit distance. And the great thing about this paper is you do get the opportunity to read an academic article. Now we want to talk a little bit about suffering. This is from Google Dictionary, and the dictionary definition is the state of undergoing pain, distress, or hardship. There may be other sort of connotations that we use in our world, or maybe other ways that people view the word in a specific way, but this is the dictionary definition. The Latin roots, it comes from sub fere, which means below and to bear. So you are undergoing this bearing of this pain, distress, or hardship. So it's like a physical carrying almost. And the other, if we look in the past, other uses of the word throughout time mean to undergo martyrdom or execution, to tolerate, to suffer somebody is to tolerate somebody, or to allow. So it's interesting kind of where the word comes from. In terms of the article that you guys are reading, the more difficult one, remember that you just need to read the parts indicated, not the full article. And annotation is so helpful when you read something that's tough so that you remember everything and that you can mark places you need to come back to, or things that you might want to put in your paper, especially things that you agree with or disagree with. And then the last thing I want to talk about is looking for a thesis. So based on your articles and your experiences and observations, you have to answer this question. I want you to have the liberty to choose the angle you take with this paper. So it doesn't have to be necessarily like a straightforward yes or no kind of thing. It can have gray areas. So for example, this first thesis says, in most cases, suffering positively impacts a person's overall happiness. So in this thesis, it's stating that it does positively impact it most of the time, but not every time. Now, if we didn't have in most cases at the beginning, it would feel like all the time, right? So either of those is fine, but I want you to know that there is room for gray area. Here's another approach. In order to experience happiness, people must embrace all emotions. So it's still answering the question, like happiness and suffering, right? You have to experience the suffering to, along with everything else, in order to have happiness. So you have a lot of different angles you can take. If you want to personalize it even more, go for it. You can always send me an email as well with your thesis before you submit the outline. That way I can look at it and give you some feedback. All right, good luck, everybody.